Hello everyone, my name is Jonah Bales, and today I'm going to be talking about our carbon footprint and ways to stop it. The Earth is slowly dying, and it is partially the humans' fault. We're using too much of the Earth's resources and doing things to affect the Earth's ozone layer. This is causing climate change, and the Earth is suffering from it. To try and prevent Earth from dying even more, we need to learn what our carbon footprint is and ways to stop it, and that includes biking, recycling, and using less energy. So to start this speech off, I'm going to be talking about what our carbon footprint is. In the Thomas Weidman and Jane Minks's chapter from the book, Ecological Economics, Research Trends, it tells us how carbon footprint has no true definition. But then it says that the best way to describe carbon footprint would be a certain amount of gaseous emissions that are relevant to climate change and associated with human production or consumption activities. This means that harmful gases that humans make and create that hurt the Earth's atmosphere and are causing climate change. So now that we know what our carbon footprint is, let's learn about some ways to stop it. And the first one I'm going to be talking about is biking instead of driving a car. Cars use fossil fuels that pollute the Earth and destroy the ozone layer. Brand says in his 2014 article that cycling 10 kilometers to work each day, or about 6.2 miles, can decrease about 1,500 kilograms of greenhouse gas emissions each year. That's just for one person. Imagine if 100 people did this. That'd be 150,000 kilograms of green gas emissions that the Earth would not have to deal with. Imagine if 1,000 people did that. If the number keeps increasing, the less greenhouse gas emissions that the Earth has to feel decreases significantly. It also says that when more people bike, car companies will have to create less and less cars. And car companies use fuels and gases that pollute the Earth. So the less that we have to make for cars, the less gases that go into the atmosphere. So now let's talk about recycling. And when most people think about recycling or their carbon footprint, they think about recycling. The EPA, or the Environmental Protection Agency, says that recycling decreases the amount of waste sent into the landfills, conserves natural resources, and increases economic security. All of these things protect the Earth's ozone layer and the actual planet itself. The water and land of the Earth will have less trash on it, and that will allow the animals and the plants to grow and replenish and make the Earth more beautiful and more livable for humans. So now let's try to learn on how to recycle. The Environmental Protection Agency also says that we need to buy recycled paper, recycle outdated technology, and buy rechargeable batteries, and make recycling bins accessible around the world to everyone. We need to buy items that are already recycled so the Earth does not have to create more items or the humans don't have to use more factories. We need to put items in recycling bins recycling bins need to be more prominent places. And we need to reuse as much stuff as possible. The more things we use, the less that people have to make, and the less fossil fuels that the Earth has to burn. And now for my third and final way on how to decrease our carbon footprint, let us talk about using less energy. EnergySage.com says that using energy requires burning fossil fuels to either make it or to use the product. To create energy, we have to use machines that produce CO2 or carbon dioxide, and this hurts the Earth's atmosphere and the Earth's ozone layer. The machines turn the fossil fuels into CO2 that go into the Earth's atmosphere, decrease the ozone layer, allows the sun's heat to come into the Earth, and it makes the Earth harder. So the Earth is going through a climate change right now. So now let's try to learn about some ways that we can use less energy. Lester, in his 2015 article, says that we can use less energy by opening windows, letting in more sunlight, turning on more fans, and also unplugging our electronic devices when we're not using them. The less energy we use, the better off the Earth will be. By opening windows and turning on more fans, it allows us to turn the AC off, and that's less energy that the Earth has to use for that. By letting in more sunlight, we don't have to turn our lights on, so the Earth doesn't have to use as much energy for the lights. And by unplugging our electronics, we're not using them. It just causes less electricity for everything to go down. So shutting off all of these electronic devices saves the Earth, but also saves you some money in your pocket. So the more money you save, the better off the Earth is. So I think there's no real reason why you should not use less energy. This is the only Earth we have. If we don't start treating it better, it'll die sooner than we want it to. So we need to start trying to improve in any way we can. Reducing our carbon footprint will be a huge step in the right direction. And by understanding what our carbon footprint is, learning that biking instead of driving a car, or cycling, and using less energy, I think will help us in the long run, make us all better people, and make the earth a better place for us to live. So thank you for my presentation.
Act 22.